again. Always forget to put that damn microphone out, man.
When I saw it was picking up, I was like, oh, maybe it's in the camera now. So I was just like, okay. I was going to say something.
Surprise. This is what the technology blah, blah, blah. Technology looks like when you roll the years back about 30. How's it going, son?
It's going well. We're just building the bridges here,
Right.
So I'm trying to fill in the gaps where I can,
So, happy Thursday. It's November 7th. Welcome to Hanging with Uncle.
Hanging with Uncle.
And today...
And son.
And son, yes. So, we have ours. I hope you guys have yours.
Definitely. A little sugar, a little spice. It's that time of year, fall.
Yep.
Football's on. Basketball.
Hockey.
Hockey, yes.
The World Series is over. Go Dodgers.
I don't want to talk about that. But yeah, how do you just blow a 5-point lead in a crucial game at home? I mean, I understand
in the World Series, no doubt.
I
mean, I have seen games. I remember one time, and this is the Phillies were at Dodger Stadium. This is Lasorda was still the manager, right, when he was still alive.
80s.
And they were going into the top of the ninth inning, and I believe the Dodgers had like a 19-run lead going into the ninth. The game was over, right?
Okay.
Except why did the Phillies win?
Jesus. But that's the thing. It's like that's why we play the game.
That's why you play the game.
So I just felt like on that pop-up, I think it was like bottom of the fifth, that pop-up where Judge came up to try, and you could tell he just took his eye off the ball.
Dropped it.
Fundamentals.
And then it just crumbled, man.
Yeah.
Garrett Cole forgot to cover first base, let Mookie get on.
It's like, I mean, I understand the first baseman was closer, but like, and I know like nothing about baseball, but my thing is every game I've seen, the pitcher sprints to first base to try and get that tag out.
So here's the thing. All right, like, just baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever the ball is pitched, everybody's moving. If it's a ground ball to third base and you're playing right field, you're like, well, it didn't come to me.
Mm-hmm.
You're running somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like, because what if the throw gets by the first baseman? You don't wait to run to cover, so you run to cover the bag, and I've seen that too many examples as to why that is. So ground balls to first base, it's automatic. The pitcher goes to first unless the first baseman waves him off. But if you looked at Rizzo, he was like trying to underhand the ball to him, like, where are you?
He was like, I guess you don't want the precious.
That was Garrett Cole's fault.
I wonder how much he got paid for that one. I don't know.
More than us.
Yeah. True.
But we have something kind of I think it's important to talk about today.
Yeah, footballs and injuries in football. No,
injuries in football, right. Talking about injuries. Yeah. Wow.
Precursor.
Right. I mean, not to mention I'm getting more shots in my back next week. But welcome home, son. You are honorably discharged from the Army, and that's cause for celebration. Cheers.
Cheers. It's coffee. I promise.
And of all the places in the world you could have chosen to go, thank you for choosing me. I appreciate it. I love you. I'm glad you're here. I'm on top of the world.
Well, that's excellent. Because one thing that I've learned is like, as we get older, sometimes family, they grow closer, they grow apart. I'm glad we always stay together.
Yes.
I can make my cameo appearances here on the show with you and Zane. But yeah, it's an exciting time. It's different. I'll say some things that I'm still getting used to is like, it's like I wake up and I'm like, what time is it? Aren't I supposed to be somewhere?
Yeah.
And that's not a thing right now, so that's cool. I'm not saying I'm retired, but, so.
Well, all right, so, I just have a question because, I know my experience, but everybody's experience is different. That's why some people do one tour, like me, and some people make a career out of it. Yeah. So what were the pros and cons of serving for you? What did you like about it? What are you glad to be rid of?
2 words: the people. It's You know, it's a funny thing because everyone has their own reason for joining, whatever that reason is. But I mean, not that I ever took a poll, but I'd be willing to bet my very small government paycheck that, you know, the guy that's been in 6 months, a year, if you ask that question to, he's like, oh, I'm here for the guy next to me, you know. So you make a lot of great friends. You meet a lot of guys that you can't wait to forget.
I'll drink to that.
Some people will live rent free in your head, you know. But it's the memories, right? And life is always going to be about what you make of it. So, yeah.
Nice. That's cool. Well, I'm glad you're here, man. Thank you again for serving your country, for being an example of what it means to serve and live not just for yourself. Thank you.
Well, you're worth it. So, thank you. And my recruiter. Shout out wherever you are, Big Sarge.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think, you know, they say like numbers are down and whatever the stuff that's beyond my pay range.
Right.
But to be a part of the less than 1% now, when I came in, they were saying it used to be 1%, but now it's less than 1% of the population are raising their hand and saying they want to serve. So,
you know, that's because I don't know why the mentality or attitude toward service has become so negative, because in my opinion, service is public duty. I mean, you serve whether you're in the military, if you're in law enforcement or firefighting, if you're carrying the mail, you're serving the public. I think service is a good thing, and anyone that tries to diminish that, I look upon them less favorably.
Most definitely. Yeah. You know, yeah, I think it's something that it's not for everyone, and I understand that, you know, again, people come in for their own reasons, whether they did their homework or not. You're going to learn real quick, but no, honestly though, like, I mean, I did my 5+ years because of the people that I met. You know, yes, I had an opportunity to travel. I was lucky. Not everyone is. You know, we have a friend who's from Oklahoma. I met him in Arkansas. He joined the Air Force. Where's he get stationed? Missouri. So he went in a triangle. You know,
shout out Joe.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, that was just like me, man. I mean, I grew up in L.A., right? Went to boot camp and then got stationed in Arizona.
Yeah, this is a commercial. Join the Army, they say. See the world. You know. But,
yeah.
It's again, it's what you're gonna make of it. So
that is true. That you know, that's true. And you know, again, my experiences were so long ago. I have nothing but fond memories of, again, like you said, the people. You know, as a matter of fact, not too long ago, like just within the past year, my old buddy Victor, who I was in boot camp with, I have not seen him since 1978, but really got in contact with him, and we've been talking, and you know, it's weird, you know, just like you said, the people you meet. So, like, I went into law enforcement. I worked at Compton. He retired from LASO.
Oh.
Again, no clue, but, you know, it's just that mentality, that mindset of people that serve. You know, it's like there's I guess, a reason why we're connected to people like that. You know, it's. I think that's where the good people reside.
Yeah, you know, it takes a different type of person to want to step up and say, "Hey, I'm here to help." Right?
Yeah. Not throw paper towels. Ooh, did I say
that? Cool. So I don't know, you know, but it's a positive thing and it's a good thing, and I love it because, you know, again, the training, the lack of sleep, the nonsense that, whether you're in the military or in the corporate or work at McDonald's, like, there's always going to be work drama, right? the difference in the military, is sometimes you kind of have to sit there and listen to whatever, or they have to sit there and listen to what you have to say. So
yeah,
I can't just quit. So yeah, but it's a good time. And if you're thinking about it, do it. So
I would not recommend anyone not do it. That's for sure. Excuse me.
No.
That's for sure. Again, the experience. Life is about experiences and the journey and like you said, the people you meet. I still talk to Howie.
Oh, really? That's a name I haven't heard for a while.
Right. I mean, so Howie, that was my radio car partner when I was in Compton. We rode together every day, every night for 3 years. Mm. And, 3 years, that's not a long time. But, 3 years in Compton's like, 100 years working at Paradise,
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I don't know. Yeah, no, and it's, the thing about the military is you have constant change, right? People are constantly rotating through your life. Some people you may never see again. Some people they will probably follow you your entire career. And it's usually the guy that you hate that follows you. And then by, 2 or 3 duty stations later, you guys are buddies, and it's just weird how it works out, but definitely I don't regret it. It was a great time. So yeah.
So I have a question because, again, for me, I know what my situation was like, but I've never talked about it. Mm-hmm. But, let the people know, did you work, was it a 9-to-5 job? Was it just 8 hours that you did? Tell me what it took, the hours that you put in and everything that it entailed. Because I think a lot of people don't realize that. It's not just I worked 8 hours and I'm going home.
Well, it's funny you mention that. When I was overseas, they had pushed out this new recruiting flyer, and it was like work 8 hours a day, make $40,000 a year or something like that. Free housing and opportunity to travel. And
they sure know how to spin it, don't they?
Man, I was like, whoever this PI guy is, he's slicker than snot on a butter onion. Let me tell you. But. So, no, it was not 9 to 5. Mainly that's job specific, but like for me, it was 5 days a week, 12-hour shifts. Every 2 months, your shift would change. So whether you worked mornings, swings, or nights, you were still expected to do PT, which is about 2 hours. And then, you still have to eat 3 times a day, right? So, and
for those that don't know, PT, that's physical training. That means getting up and running.
Run until you're done, and some of those guys are gazelles, man. 5 miles in 25 minutes. But anyway, I said all that to say that, no, it was definitely a lot. You still have to work out. You still have to meal prep or whatever that day entails. And you're expected to show up and do it all over again without missing a beat. So, some people, what it really boils down to is leadership style, right? Mm-hmm. They say common sense isn't common. So when you meet certain people and they come in and they're like, hey, we need you to work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, this time to this time. Okay, cool. Tuesday, Thursday, go work, do your paperwork, get your soldiers squared away, whatever it is. But you still have to sleep for 8 hours. You still have, you're still going to want to have your personal time, whether you want to game or watch your dad's podcast, whatever, And so then they look at you and they're like, well, why are you tired? Well, because I didn't chug pre-workout.
Right.
Yeah. I had a first sergeant like that. He lived like an hour away, and he would take 2 scoops of pre-workout and would show up at 5 a.m. like, let's go, run day, 5 mile, uphill both ways.
Yeah.
It's 20 degrees outside, but here we go. And
I'm a training opportunity.
Yeah, right. It's like remember the Titans when Coach Yost was like, "This isn't the Marine Corps," and he was like, "Well, see if you can keep up." Like,
yeah.
either way. But yeah, no, I mean, I would say that's my experience. But it also depends on where you are. You know, there's so much flexibility, and I can have the same job as my dad, and my dad could be opposite end of the country of me, and we just do things completely different. So,
yeah.
But yes, shout out Joe Sergeant Carter, keeping us motivated. He lives rent free in my head. So.
You know, there are certain people you never forget. They, good, bad, or are neutral. They have, you know, put that stamp in our brains, and it's just funny the things that you can recall, and people are like, "How do you know that?" Mm-hmm. There's a reason.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. No, it's definitely one of those moments, you know, being able to pick the phone up and call someone, and you know, make whatever joke, or hey, do you remember when this happened, or hey, it's a bonding experience, and there's a saying in the Army, embrace the suck, right? And there's gonna be moments where it sucks, right? I'd be lying if I said, you know, I was like, oh, I'm only going to do one contract, you know.
Yeah.
And when I re-enlisted, I was like, okay, well, this is a little something different. I kind of like being tortured this way. I guess I'm programmed now, you know. But no, it's a different experience. And when you go through stuff together, it's awesome.
So for me, that getting, I mean, look, it's 6 o'clock in the morning here, but I mean, I've been up for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's like getting up early and training early, you know, it wakes your body up, wakes your mind up. There's just something about it that I think, unless you have that motivational drive to succeed, people they don't understand it. I can understand somebody that wants to sleep in because they like to sleep. But I don't understand somebody that wants to sleep in because they have no motivation to accomplish anything for themselves.
Yeah. I had an old light colonel put it a certain way. He would come and run with us on certain days. You might notice a trend here. And he, at the end, you know, we'd be stretching and stuff, and he'd be like, I want you guys to repeat after me. I do more by 8 a.m. than most people do all day. And honestly, when you really look at it, you're like, yeah, I really did. You know? So, but that's the thing, you know?
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
You know, and I'm glad you mentioned common sense, man, because I think common sense is a burden to people like us. Mm-hmm. Because we have to deal with the people that don't have it.
Yeah. And then you look at there, and sometimes I have to call, and I'm just like, okay, buddy, I just need you to hear me out for a second, because I have to make sure I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Because when you're surrounded by good idea fairies, is what we call them, and they're just like, hey, I need this bullet for my paperwork to look good, right? Sorry, Army terminology, but the point is not like an actual gun bullet, but anyway. And you're like, dude, it was fine. Why are you changing it? You know?
Yeah.
But get used to a lot of change. You'll definitely meet a lot of people, make a lot of connections. I mean, I still talk to my bunkie from basic, so
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Well, some time.
I know you only did 5 years, and you did re-enlist, so I know people are probably scratching their head, but. I know you were honorably discharged, and I know it was for reasons that were just beyond your control. Like you said, you got to get up in PT, but if you're unable to because of particular ailment or disability, so just me personally, again, I'm very proud of you for the choices you've made and for how you live and where you are, man.
I'd love to say the same about you, Dad, but I can't get over that Green Bay beating. No, I'm just teasing. But no, I love you too, Pops. Yeah, no, when you scratch your head, because, you know, some of the guys were saying they only got 2-year contracts. And I was like, what? I thought it was only 4 or 5 or 6. Mine was like 3 and some change. Because when you come in, it's 4, but they don't count your basic training. So, anyway. But yeah, you know, sometimes the math doesn't math, but it still makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's an interesting opportunity. And there's so much change in the Army right now. But, you know, that's another conversation. So.
Right. Well, anyway, this is much longer than we normally go in the mornings, but you know, if you guys have questions, want to talk to either of us about our life of service, leave them in the comment section below, and both of us will be happy to respond.
For sure, most definitely.
You got any closing statements you want to share, son?
Yeah, you know, if anybody's looking to hire a vet, you know, shameless plug there. No, but honestly, I would just say that, you know, make sure you wake up every morning and accomplish at least one thing, right? And you can always add to that. But I just want to say love, peace, and happiness to everybody.
Amen. I'll drink to that, man. All right, well, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Gene.
And I'm Gene.
And you've been hanging with Uncle.
Yeah, and son.
Please hit subscribe, help us grow our channel, and click that like button. Let the rest of the world know we exist.
Definitely.
And don't forget that notification bell so you never miss whenever we go live and put new content out there.
Oh, make sure you pay yourself, too.
And don't forget to pay yourself.
Yeah,
That's right.
It's not Friday, but you can pay yourself twice.
Keep it on your brain.
There you go.
All right. Be kind to one another and treat each other the way you want to be treated. And